4. Welcome to W&L Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Jeremy Franklin. This week we'll speak with women's swimming coach Kami Gardner and women's basketball captain Allie Long. But first, here's a look back at last weekend in Washington sports. The men's basketball team opened up Old Dominion Athletic Conference play with a 77-72 victory at Emory and Henry on Saturday. Senior Zach White scored 20 of his career-high 27 points in the second half, and senior Ben Getch added 16 points and 13 rebounds as the Generals won at the King Center for just the second time in the last 12 years. On Monday, the women kicked off ODAC play with a 95-60 win at Hollins. Sophomore Becca Bolton led W&L with 22 points and 9 rebounds, while classmate Meg Ingram scored all 18 of her points in the first half and matched a career mark with 8 assists in the game. First-year Rachel Warwick chipped in 18 points and 9 rebounds. Also Monday, the men returned home and improved to 4-1 with a 64-52 win over Catholic. Getch scored 20 points and grabbed 8 boards in the contest. With me now is women's swimming coach Kami Gardner. Kami, welcome back to W&L Sports Weekly.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
The Generals have already won the 2 ODAC dual meets on the schedule, and you fared well winning the ODAC Fall Relays. How pleased have you been with the way the Generals have swum against conference competition?
I'm very happy. The ODAC Invitational is really just kind of a fun thing to kick off the season, to see all the ODAC teams and the coaches and kind of see where the conference is. So that's more of a fun type of kickoff thing. The meets against Randolph-Macon and Sweetbriar were very competitive. I think our depth helped us, especially against Randolph-Macon. They're a tough team, and it's always nice to post a win against them.
You're challenging your team. Very tough schedule. How have the Generals fared so far against the non-conference teams?
I think we've done a good job. We hit 2 really tough teams right at the beginning of our season. We were a couple training weeks down, so it was a little rough start. But I think it really woke the women up to where they want to be as a team. And going into the Carnegie Mellon Rochester meet, which was right before Thanksgiving, on paper both teams beat us, and the women managed to pull out a win against University of Rochester, which was really exciting heading into the break.
You're swimming in Charlottesville this weekend. How will the Virginia Invitational help your team in the long run?
Well, it's a fantastic facility, which is one of the reasons why we wanted to swim there, and it's against some fantastic opponents. Competition-wise, I want the women to really step up to the challenge, not be intimidated by the Division I swimming. Another reason why we chose that particular meet is the proximity to campus. We're heading into the last week of school with finals, and we want the kids to be ready academically. So we wanted to pick a meet closer to home that's going to provide a great opportunity to swim fast.
That'll be your last event until mid-January. What kind of expectations do you have for the second half of the season?
Very high expectations, and that was set early by the women swimmers. We've progressed rapidly throughout the season, and I think we're getting better and better each time we swim. So I have huge expectations for our dual meets against Gettysburg, which is always great, Mary Mountain Catholic, and of course Johns Hopkins. And then heading into the ODAC championships, we want to be fully prepared.
Well, Kami, thank you for joining us here. Good luck at Virginia this weekend.
Thank you.
Joined now by Allie Long, junior basketball captain from Hastings-on-Hudson, New York. Allie, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What does that first win of the season mean to the Generals, especially for the 5 new players on the roster?
Well, I think for us as a whole, it's always great to have our first win. It brings some confidence to our team, but it's especially great for the freshmen because we kept telling them, that those first 2 games were against really great teams, and it was great that we were close, even though we all thought we could have won. But that, ODAC competition, we're going to dominate. And I think they needed to see that firsthand, to see that, we can beat a team in the ODAC by 35 points. We're going to be that good this year. And I think it brought a lot of confidence to them, also getting to contribute a lot of them. A lot of the freshman Rachel Warwick scored 18 points. A lot of them contributed a lot of minutes and a lot of really great statistics. So I think it brought a lot of confidence.
You mentioned the high expectations for ODAC play this year. How does last season's performance affect what you expect to do in the conference?
Well, last season, we had a great ODAC performance, and we beat some of the best teams in the conference. So I think going into this season, it's not so much that we're, a middle-range team hoping that we can push to, beat teams like Randolph-Macon, Virginia Wesleyan. We know we can beat those teams now, and we know that other teams view us as one of the top teams also. So for us, we're going to go out every night with a chip on our back we want to win ODACs, and every team's going to come out at us, giving us their best shot, and we're going to have to really play every single night, but it's a great feeling to know that we're among the top and that we should be winning every single night.
What makes the W&L women's basketball team different from any team you've competed with?
Well, I think especially this year, it's probably our closeness and how much we really trust each other and support each other. On the court, we can take each other's criticism and, people will give each other advice, but we really are really supportive of each other, and we have spent a lot of time off the court together, done a lot of team activities, which I haven't really, even in high school or in previous years at W&L, hasn't been the case as much, and I think that's really made us a lot more cohesive on the court.
What are the keys to performing well and staying consistent over 20 games of the ODAC schedule?
I think it's staying positive through some of the rough patches that we have, and also doing the little things in those moments that can make us win the game anyways. Like sometimes we have moments when our shots aren't falling, or we'll turn over the ball a couple times. And I think in those moments, it's really important that we don't let the other team just take advantage of that situation, and that we do things like rebound, play good defense, get good steals and things like that. I think that's really important. And to finish our halves and our games, we've had a little bit of trouble in the beginning of the season in our first 2 games with putting together a full 20 minutes each half. We've done a really good job for about 15 minutes, and I know that that's going to be really important when we face some of the top ODAC competition, is finishing that last 5 minutes of play and really pulling away with it. So I think as long as we keep those things in good shape, we should be able to pull out a lot of wins this season.
Allie, thank you for joining us here. Good luck this season.
Thanks, Jeremy.
The men's and women's swimming teams will face Division I competition this weekend at the University of Virginia Invitational. The event runs from Thursday through Saturday. Wrestling heads to Grantham, Pennsylvania for the Messiah Petrofus Invitational on Friday and Saturday. Also Saturday, Washington and Lee's indoor track and field season begins with the Marietta First Glimpse event in Ohio. The men's basketball team travels to Averitt for a 2 o'clock tip-off. Listen live to the game on WLUR. And the final event before the holiday break will take place in Doremus Gym next Wednesday as wrestling meets local rival Southern Virginia at 7 p.m. For W&L Sports Weekly, I'm Jeremy Franklin. Thanks for watching.